We showcase the Devourer, an optional boss with complex mechanics. Let's examine his melee kit. He happens to start the fight with his most frequent melee attack, a basic strike. The direction is given by his arm. While rolling is an option, we can maximize our DPS by parrying or sidestepping. In melee range, the toughest ability to avoid is his quick attack. Be on the lookout for when he pulls his head back. Usually, there is a clear audio cue. Getting hit by this ability is not a big deal. However, without any protective gear, we cannot afford to get hit, and we cannot parry without getting stunned, so we roll it instead. Notice he is using his basic strike again, but with a different arm. This is common for the Devourer. We can sidestep in either direction, but generally, it's quicker to rotate away from his arm rather than into. Now the Devourer is glowing red, charging for his AoE slam. This is just the attack we wanted to bait out. He'll track the player only briefly, and slam down in the direction he's facing. Ideally, we'll sidestep or prematurely roll, after he's done tracking us, to get behind the Devourer and damage him. The UE on his attack is pretty small, so don't worry. Following up his AoE slam, he'll always vomit toxic pools on the ground in front. These linger for a while, dealing DOT if you're on it. He's digging away, dealing AoE damage along the path of travel and at the point of arrival. The starting experience of this fight is always choreographed. He will dig in total 3 times, initially leaving behind 3 parts of his body above ground. To do this fight hitless, it's really important to keep in mind where his tail is. This is the first body segment he leaves behind when he first digs. Since we're out of his melee range, the Devourer will spit a projectile at us that explodes, dealing AoE. Note that the Devourer attacks in a place where we once were, so it's easy to sidestep his spit. In fact, this property is true for most of the Devourer's moves. Now that he's dug 3 times, he'll sink into the ground and deal damage in a telegraphed area, summoning relatively harmless worms. Let's stay outside the circles and prepare for adds. He almost always follows up his AoE Erupt with a new special move, Machine Gun. He glows red, tracks you throughout the attack, and at the end, he spits out projectiles dealing significant damage. While it's probably not intended, you can parry this by catching it on the side. The Devourer is glowing red again. Since he just used his machine gun, this must be his AoE slam. And again, since his AoE slam is on cooldown, this must be his machine gun. Let's get to the side and parry. A note to devs, the disengage animation shows the attack hitting invisible tiles on the roof. This is purely a cosmetic concern. Whenever the Devourer charges red and pulls his head back like this, it's either his AoE slam or machine gun. By standing still, if you do not remember which is on cooldown, it's impossible to predict. So to deduce the attack, let's prematurely sidestep and observe how the boss tracks us. If he eventually stops tracking, then it must be the slam. Otherwise, it's the machine gun and we can parry. He's glowing red. I don't know which attack this is. Let's sidestep for more info. Ah, he stopped tracking us, so let's roll out the way of his slam attack. Now this must be machine gun. We're not in position to parry. Let's put some distance between us and roll to the side as soon as we see him come down. Since he's low enough, the Devourer starts using volley. He turns his head to the side and begins spraying projectiles in a wide arc. Let's roll through it. Remember the tail? Notice it's moved above ground. Whenever we are in range of the tail, it has a chance of using one of 3 attacks, all of which spawn worms. The attack chosen seems to be based on the initial proximity to the tail. Here it uses an AoE slam. We'll get hit by it chunking us. Usually there's an audio cue associated to any tail attack, but the audio cue doesn't always come. To the devs, is it possible to make this 100% consistent? Out of the corner of our eyes, we see the tail moving. Since we are far enough away, this must be the tail line attack, sending a shockwave on the ground. There is one more tail attack that we've missed in this video. When significantly close to the tail, it will do a sweep which we can roll through. Note, parrying machine gun comes at a cost. It seems to always drain a little bit of health, and we die. Okay, now let's put it all together. Now let's showcase the Devourer without parry. Our preferred strategy, as for all boss fights, is to stay melee range. We want to stun the boss before his first AoE erupt. Awesome, we've stunned the boss in the first part. He's going to use AoE Erupt. Let's put down a Locust to chill the Devourer and deal significant damage. To counter Machine Gun, we can go a little back, put down Locust to block projectiles, and then roll. Be careful though, if Locust is too close then the projectiles will fly over. Learning from our mistake, let's properly hide behind Locust. As a Souls player, bosses in PoE2 are extremely well crafted. Their hitboxes are so precise that it's even possible to get under Zalmart's one-hit KO flame attack by ducking with the Ascendancy skill Temper Weapon. GGG has done an outstanding job here, achieving a level of polish second to none, and even the highest standards of the Souls genre. Thank you for watching, and see you in Grillwood soon.